Alright, so let's begin. And today, to do our viewers' live financial planning, I have with me Anil Rego, founder CEO of Right Horizons. Anil, good evening and welcome to the show. And for all the viewers who have just tuned in and figuring out how to send across their financial portfolio queries to us, so a quick WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the screen, 865-797-4571 is the number where you can send across your questions, and email ID that you can mail us your queries on, themoneyshow@etnow.tv. So these are the places where you can get in touch with us and get your financial portfolio queries answered by our experts live. Okay, so let's take Vignesh's question, and this question is from Bengaluru, and he says that he has a portfolio of 2 lakhs. He's currently investing in UTI Nifty 50 Index 6,000 rupees, DSP Nifty Next 50 4,000, Edelweiss Flexi Cap 5,000, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap 4,000, Tata Small Cap 2,000, Motilal Oswal S&P 500 Index Fund which is 2,000, PGIM Global Opportunities 2,000, Edelweiss Greater China Equity Offshore 2,000, and the foreign funds were added only 2 months ago. He is also willing to step up his investment by 3,000 rupees per year, and he's going to be investing for 17 years is what he's talking about, or he's planned. Anil, he's also planning to continue in Indian equity for almost 17 years now, and will continue the foreign funds until the correction. Alright, so far let's talk about the fund mix. Any comment on that first, Anil?
Yes, so I guess he has some bit of international funds, okay, which is a bit of a clear thing. And not just one of them, I think he had almost like 3 of them. Okay, so that is, obviously he also has said that, once the correction is over, he'll also look at it. So that is one area that, we're also saying that maybe, he should look at. Otherwise, he has a couple of funds in, say, large cap and mid and small cap as well, and a multi-cap fund. So from that point, there's some bit of diversification out there. He is well balanced. So he's not excessive, let's say, on mid caps, which I see from most of the, investors today.
All right, so that's the response to Vignesh's portfolio. You have also suggested him to move from UTI Nifty 50 Index to Nippon India Large Cap. Any specific reason why you want him to have an active approach in large cap? I mean, this has been a very interesting ongoing debate whether to have exposure in large caps via an active fund or a passive fund. But you're recommending him to get into Nippon India Large Cap. Any specific reason there?
Yeah, so broadly, apart from the international funds, one of the at the fund level, yes, we're thinking that maybe he has 2 index funds, so it makes sense to diversify one of them into an active. So that's the first point. Maybe if he had a single fund, then he would have said he can live with it. And the active funds have done pretty well actually. So if you go back and see both something like a Nippon India Large Cap, even ICICI Blue Chip, etc. Some of them have done very, very well, and it definitely makes sense to also have exposure and diversify across an active fund as well. It's a big debate that most people have, active versus passive. The point I would like to make there is maybe India is not yet as efficient a market, let's say, as the US, which is why you'll find that active funds and good active funds can beat the index by a reasonably large margin. And that too, sometimes it's not unusual to see anywhere between 3 to 6% compounded, alpha, even over 5 years and or longer. So it makes sense to look at a combination of active and passive funds at this point of time. And maybe as India gets more efficient, then one can need to see, whether one wants to consolidate more and more into the passive funds.
All right, so that's the answer for Vignesh and recommendation for his financial portfolio. But then let's move on. I am connected with Imran now. Imran, hi. Good evening. How are you doing today? You're calling from?
I'm basically from Andhra, but doing job in Bangalore.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sending us your question, Imran. So, yeah, what is your question? You might just want to discuss it with us.
Yes, actually, I'm new to mutual funds. I recently started investment. So basically, based on like I followed your videos from last 1 month. So as on my research, I invested in 5,000 in ICICI Blue Chip Fund, 3K in Motilal Mid Cap Fund, and again 3K in Parag Flexi Cap and 2K in Nippon India Small Cap Fund. So actually, my goals like in around 10 years, I want to achieve like around 50 to 50 lakh, like 75 lakh, like that.
Okay.
And actually, overall, I have goal of within 20 years, I want to achieve around 3 CR, like that.
Okay.
So that is matter whether I am going in a right direction, whether I need to do any modification, like that.
Sure. All right. Okay, so Anil, what is the solution for his portfolio and in fact the step to achieve his goals? So in a span of 25 years, he wants to achieve 5 CR, 10 years, he wants to achieve 1 CR.
Yeah, so I think definitely he's diversified well. And I must congratulate him because at his age, right, he is also, looking to learn and done some, very, very good investments. And coming back to his point of saying that, in the shorter term, let's say he wants to achieve shorter term, not so short actually, 1 crore in 10 years. Okay, I would believe that, at the current SIPs, he will not be able to achieve it. To be able to achieve that sort of figure, you will need almost like 40,000 plus type of an SIP over this period of time. Now, the alternatively, I think, which may be sort of an easier way to do, if he's able to even start off with something like 30,000, and has a step up, then he would be sort of able to achieve it. Okay. Now, what could just happen is maybe if he's not able to achieve that, and he's able to do 15,000 at this point of time, he could start off with whatever he can, but see whether he can, increase the step ups or increase his allocation a little more aggressively over a period of time. And what may just happen that 1 crore may happen, say, instead of 10 years, maybe in 11 or 12 years. But I still think that working in that direction will at least get him to where he wants to be, and hopefully there may be some upsides that he gets and some windfall from somewhere or the other, and that is something which can actually take him there. Now, interestingly, on the longer term one, right? If you are looking at something like he's cutting 15,000 rupees and he wants to do it, achieve 5 crores in about say 25 years, right? Now that is something that he could achieve, if he also does keep increasing and, does some bit of his incremental step ups at 10%, he will definitely be able to achieve his 5 crores. So that also is a point to keep in mind for a long-term investor, right? When you increase your tenure, even if you start off smaller and you step it up, you'll be able to achieve much more. So starting early is important. And actually wish him all the best for his goal of achieving 5 crores.
All right, Imran, are you still there with me on the phone line? Is there anything else
yes.
you want to ask Anil? Yeah.
No, actually, whatever based on my research, whatever invested, those are very good funds. Is there any to do modification?
I think stepping up your investment is definitely one area for which you've been advised. And in terms of fund-specific change, Anil, do you want to recommend something?
Yeah, so apart from what he has, I don't want to add too much more. Okay, maybe he can look at, let's say, a HDFC Flexi Cap Fund as one additional fund, to be able to achieve.
So, Anil, that needs to be done now, or whenever he's planning to step up his investment, he can add a new fund?
Yeah, so because he already has good funds, I'm not suggesting that he stops something and does it. So whenever he is looking to add and step up, he can do the HDFC Flexi Cap Fund.
All right, Imran, all the best with all the changes recommended. Please implement them in your portfolio. On that note, let's take a quick break, but post that we have our viewers connected on the phone line and we are doing their live financial planning. Just in case you want to send across your questions, you can note down our WhatsApp number and email ID. See you after this quick break. Welcome welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, and we are analyzing your financial portfolios. And I have with me Anil Rego, who is doing your life financial planning. I'm joined by Sumit from Kolkata. Sumit, hi, good evening. How are you doing today?
Yes, very good evening. First of all, I was not expected this type of call I will get from VT now. I'm very thankful to you, VT now. Because really unexpected. I just see in channel and just put my all the details to through the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Anyway, very thankful to you to.
Thank you. Thank you so much for trusting and sending us your portfolio details. So, do you want to give your portfolio details live to our expert also? He already has your details, but just in case you want to repeat or just reconfirm anything.
Yes, one thing is that whatever the portfolio I have given to you, one little change is there. That Motilal Oswal S&P 500 index fund, I have its SIP is going on for 80 or 85,000 like that.
Okay.
2,000 rupees per day. It has started. It has been started from the 25th of November.
Okay. Okay.
And up to 17th of Jan, it will end. SIP already initiated. And that is, it will come around, I think, 85,000.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sumit, do you want to spell out your funds names that you have invested in? What's the total SIP amount that's going on right now?
Yes, pardon me?
What is the total invested amount overall?
Over total is, I think it is 25 lakhs, 25.85 lakhs.
Okay, all right. And your holding period is 13 to 15 years?
Yes, 13 to 15 years, minimum 13 years. If my goal has achieved in 10 years, then I will break it. Or I think it is very difficult, but 12 to minimum is 13 years. Maximum
Okay.
is 15 years.
Will you be stepping up your investment via SIP mode or lump sum investment, anything of that sort?
Will you be? What are you asking?
I'm asking, will you be able to step up your investment amount? You want to increase your SIP amount, or you want to invest?
Yes. It's made, but not much. Right now, I'm not able to tell many things because it depends to my how much I will earn for futures. But 2 to 5% is an increase. But minimum, I'm considering the minimum amounts.
Why not?
And from 2026, I will be able to invest 12,000 per month. From 2026, because one of my fund will be company, and from there I can invest in the SIP 10,000 rupees per month.
Got it. All right. Anil, is there anything else you want to ask Sumit?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. He's actually given a very detailed spreadsheet. So, interestingly, he has about 20 odd funds. So, I think that's a very large number. Overall, I guess from where the information he gave is also increased the investments to about 25 lakhs. Okay, so the good part of it is, he's built this up over this period of time. Yes, maybe, there is a lot of concentration in a few areas. Like say the factor funds, for example, which is a bit of a different concept. He has reasonable allocation to that. The second is he also has a number of thematic funds and international funds. So that also, it takes it away. So I would think that broadly from, his fund list, if at all, one would like to do, I don't want to overnight do too much of things there, but maybe relook at his sectoral exposure, okay? Because for an investor who is aware of, the particular sectors and tracking it, and he should know when to get in and when to get out, that's the type of investor who should invest in sectors. So if he has the ability to track and enter and exit sectors, then he can continue. But otherwise, it's best to look at diversified, equity funds out there. I also spoke of the factor funds. He has a reasonable allocation to some of them. And I think a combination of both momentum and the value, which sort of balances itself. He also has the Motilal Oswal Nifty 500 index, which is, another one which I think he had also added some money to it. So I believe that, he can stay put in some of those, but at least on the review his allocation to the sectoral funds. Okay, and going forward, maybe focus on diversified equity funds and possibly, a little more active funds that he can look at. He has stated objective to achieve a corpus of 3 crores in 15 years. And, for that, as of today, he would need to have almost like 50 plus lakh rupees. So that is something, assuming, 12% return. So if that is the case, he will be short. And what does it require to, cover the gap? He can do an SIP of 27,000 rupees a month, okay, to be able to achieve this corpus. Now, if he's not able to do 27,000 rupees as of today, it's okay. He can do a smaller amount and increase it, like he said, maybe 5% at least every year. And that should help him to be able to achieve his goal. The one point that was niggling out there is, and I would like to bring out a matter of caution, is he also does a little bit on the FNO side. Okay, the FNO side, I just want to, highlight to him that FNO he can lose money beyond his capital. So only if he has a good expertise, then do it. And if he's doing it, then two things are required. One is keep a cap on what he's exposing to the FNO side. And the second thing is, he should be able to stop loss. So these are two points of advice for somebody who's doing, FNO as a retail investor. But broadly, otherwise, I think he's in a good place. In terms of SIP, if he looks at it, we think he can look at a combination of ICICI through blue chip. He can also look at Motilal Oswal mid cap on the mid cap side, and on the small cap side, he can maybe add a Tata small cap fund. So that also keeping in mind his current investments that he has.
All right, I think it's time up from my end. But then, Sumit, quickly, do you want to ask anything else to Anil?
Actually, one thing, I have one thing here. Just one IPO I have just bought it. That is NTPC Green Energy. I've invested, I think, 1,10,000 just 4-5 days back. It was ended. So,
what fund is that?
No, that is not the fund. That is IPO.
Oh, okay. I did not get that. Okay.
Okay.
So my time is actually up. Anil, quick reaction from you.
Yeah. So if it's a sectoral fund, I would say, just now that you've invested, you cannot do much, but just be wary of investing in, sectoral funds going forward.
All right, that will be all. Thank you so much for sending us your question, and thank you so much, Anil, for being a part of this show and helping our viewers with the financial portfolio queries. On that note, it's a wrap, and I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.